Happy Thanksgiving, and it's throwback weekend here at footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Memory Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our NFL Week 12 preview between the Buffalo Bills and the Indianapolis Colts. Now let's take a look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with the Bills.
Offensively for the Bills, you look at the receiving core, Donald Jones, Stevie Johnson and company. These guys have to make sure this week versus the Colts, they take advantage of the short passes and then turn them into long gains. We know the Bills love to go 3 and 4 and sometimes empty sets, so the receivers have to play a huge role in order for Ryan Fitzpatrick to get off to a great start. And speaking of Ryan Fitzpatrick, quiet as kept, he hasn't had a bad season statistically. The questions come about where they can't convert those third downs and his questionable decision-making in clutch situations. If the Bills are going to make a push to the playoffs, he has to improve in both. But the touchdown to interception ratio hasn't been bad. But you look at the defensive side of football, getting Chris Kelsey back is going to be a huge addition to this defensive front. It allows them to have that rotation. It allows them to stay fresh. And you see Sean Merriman contributing last week as well. So you look at this Bills defensive line and maybe they're starting to hit their stride, and that's a huge asset for this team moving forward. And in the secondary, another bright spot has been the play of Leotis McKelvin on returns, but also his play in the secondary and going against Andrew Luck. He's going to give you some opportunities to make plays on the ball, and we know the Bills definitely have the ball hawks back there to come away with those interceptions. Now let's move over to the Colts in this ball game, and you have to be impressed with Andrew Luck and his play, but you also have to be concerned with the amount of turnovers. The interceptions and the fumbles can't happen if this team is going to make a push to the playoffs. They're 6-4 right now, and in order for these guys to have a chance to get in and make some noise in the postseason, they're going to have to clean up the turnovers and the sloppy play. There's weapons out there for him to be successful. Dwayne Allen has had an outstanding rookie campaign, in my opinion. They have Reggie Wayne, a veteran wide receiver, and they're also well protected up front on that offensive line. But it's all about Andrew Luck protecting the football, and if he can do that, then they have a legitimate shot to win this game and move forward and keeping their playoff hopes alive. Now, defensively, Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis, the two outside rushers, look to be a little bit more healthier now as opposed to the beginning of the season, and that just bodes well for that Colts defense as a whole. The question is, can they cover the flats this week versus Buffalo? We know Ryan Fitzpatrick loves to throw that short in route, and when those receivers take it the distance, they're going to have to be effective in that short to intermediate coverage area. If they can get some batted passes, perhaps some turnovers or sure tackling, I think they can have a chance to win this game. The Colts defense isn't that bad. They just have to get healthy, and they have to apply that pressure this week versus the Buffalo Bills. In order for the Bills to come away with a win, they're going to need an outstanding performance from Stevie Johnson. We know the Colts will come in and try to bracket Scott Chandler, take him out of the ballgame, so Stevie Johnson has to step up and perform. And for the Colts, it's going to be the run defense. You have to make the Bills one-dimensional, and now that they have Fred Jackson back, that's a huge addition to their running game. Got to stop the run, put it all on Ryan Fitzpatrick's shoulders. Now let's look at the personnel breakdown in this ball game, and quite honestly, this is an even matchup between two young up-and-coming teams, and this will have a playoff wild card feel to it, so look for these guys to come out, compete. The advantages for the Bills lie in the secondary. The advantages for the Colts lie in their consistent passing attack. Since it's throwback week at Football Game Plan, we're going to give a shout out to some throwback players for each team. Nate Odoms is my throwback player of the week for the Buffalo Bills. He played up in Buffalo from 87 to 93, 26 career interceptions. Guy was a ball hawk and a tremendous player, a two-time Pro Bowler. And the Colts throwback player of the week is Albert Bentley. Played up in Indianapolis from 85 to 91, a versatile player, a guy that amassed over 8,500 yards of total offense, always was dangerous with the football. I like the Bills in this ball game. I like what I saw last week from the defense. Now the defensive line is starting to get healthy. Now you're starting to see that pressure that we thought we'd see from the Bills in the beginning of the season. And they say when you go on the road, you got to bring your defense and your running game. We know the Bills definitely can run the football to get a boost from having Fred Jackson back this week, although C.J. Spiller should get the bulk of the carries. And defensively, they're getting better each and every week. And I also want to send a huge shout out to Bills fan forums and Colts fan forums for always showing Football Game Plan support.